What do you do?
Ask the wizard to change him back?
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Disney's got over a dozen live-action movies in the pipeline right now, all at different stages of development, which honestly isn't all that shocking. With how well some of their recent remakes have done, it makes sense that they're keeping the momentum going. They're clearly not slowing down anytime soon, and it looks like we'll be seeing even more reimagined versions of their classic animated hits, along with spin-offs and new series popping up along the way. Ever since The Jungle Book got the live-action treatment back in 2016 and blew up, Disney's been on a roll turning their old favorites into flashy, CGI-heavy live-action projects. And now they're diving into another fan favorite from the animated world, Vampirina. So let's break down everything we know so far about this spooky new live-action series. Now, before we jump into everything about the Vampirina live-action series, let's take a step back for those who might not be too familiar with the original show. Vampirina was a super popular animated kids series that aired on Disney Junior and Disney Channel. It was created by Chris Nee, who also brought us Doc McStuffins, and was based on the Vampirina Ballerina book written by Anne-Marie Pace. The books were published under Disney Hyperion, and when the show premiered on October 1, 2017, it quickly became a hit with both kids and parents alike because of its charm, fun music, and heartwarming lessons. Even though the animated series wrapped up on June 28, 2021 after running for 3 seasons and giving us a total of 75 episodes, it didn't exactly disappear. The full series later found a new home on Disney+, which helped it find an even bigger audience. So it's not too surprising that Disney decided to bring this story back, this time with a live-action twist. Now let's talk about who's bringing these characters to life in the new version. The live-action Vampirina will star newcomer Kenzi Richardson as our main girl, V. Then there's Jiwon Lee from Rise Up singing out playing Sophie, Sean Dixon, who you might recognize from The Neighborhood as Elijah, and Milo Maharlika from the Les Miserables Broadway National Tour taking on the role of Demi. Faith Hedley, who was part of the Lion King International Tour, will be playing Brittany. It's a mix of fresh faces and rising young talent, which could be exactly what the show needs to capture a new generation while still keeping longtime fans intrigued. Behind the scenes, the series is in good hands. Randy Barnes is running the show and also serving as an executive producer. Tim Federle and Bronwyn North Reist are also on board as executive producers, while Kimberly McCullough not only directed the pilot but also executive produced it. It's clear Disney is putting some serious talent behind this project to give it a strong start. While Vampirina is getting all the buzz, it's not the only live-action series Disney has announced. They're also working on another show called How We Became the Biggest Band in the World. This one follows 3 girls from a famous pop band called Electric Bloom as they look back on how it all started, going all the way back to middle school. Umi Pollack from The Fallout will be playing Posey, and she's joined by 2 newcomers, Carmen Sanchez and Ruby Marino, who play Jade and Tulip. Nathaniel Boucher from Circuit Breakers rounds out the group as Lucas. Just like Vampirina, the show has a solid creative team behind it. Eric Friedman is the showrunner and executive producer, along with writers and producers Alex Fox and Rachel Lewis. Music legend Diane Warren is even involved. She executive produced and wrote the songs for the pilot, which is a big deal. Jody Hahn directed the pilot and also came on board as an executive producer. When Disney announced both series, Io Davis, the president of Disney Branded Television, made it clear what they're aiming for. She said these 2 shows stand out because they have everything kids love: relatable characters, catchy music, and stories full of heart, humor, and friendship. That mix has worked for Disney before, so it makes sense they're sticking with it. Now, when it comes to the live-action Vampirina storyline, it looks like Disney will keep a lot of the original charm, but also make some changes to freshen things up. That way, they can bring in new viewers while still giving longtime fans a bit of nostalgia. In the original animated version, Vi and her family moved from Transylvania to Pennsylvania to open a spooky little bed and breakfast called the Scare B&B. It's designed for visiting ghouls like vampires and goblins, which already sets up plenty of fun and chaos. But living in a regular human neighborhood means the Hedley family has to blend in and do things the Pennsylvania way. That's where most of the show's charm came from, watching this vampire girl try to fit in at school, make friends, and keep her monster side a secret so she doesn't scare the humans. It had the perfect balance of spooky fun and real-life lessons about acceptance, friendship, and being yourself. In the live-action version, Disney might tweak the setup just a little to give it a more modern or music-driven angle, especially since they've hinted at the school being a performing arts academy. That would give Vi a chance to express herself through music, which ties in perfectly with the way the original show used songs to connect with its audience. Plus, with characters like Demi the Ghost still around, you can bet there will be plenty of supernatural shenanigans too. So, with a fresh cast, some talented folks behind the camera, and a classic story about fitting in while staying true to herself, Vampirina might just be the next big thing for Disney's live-action lineup. And even though change is still always a bit risky, this reboot could be just what they need to bring a little magic and a little spooky fun back to the screen. That said, Disney is going hard on the live-action train these days, and let's be real, it's kind of wild to see how far they've taken this mission to reimagine their animated legacy. At first, the idea of Disney remaking nearly their entire back catalog felt a little worrying. Like, were they really just going to copy-paste their classics in CGI and call it a day? But fast forward to now, and there's real excitement bubbling up. Why? Because they're not just hitting rewind, they're aiming for reinvention. And with each new project, the bar keeps creeping higher. Take Tangled, for example. When Disney announced a live-action remake of the 2010 hit, it wasn't just another remake announcement, it was a statement. That movie defined a new era of Disney. Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi brought so much charm and chemistry, and those musical numbers, straight up iconic. With The Greatest Showman's Michael Gracie possibly directing, fans are hyped for something bold and theatrical. And this isn't just about reviving nostalgia. Disney is clearly looking to their modern classics like Moana and Lilo and Stitch, and building forward, not just backward. And speaking of bold, there's also The Hunchback of Notre Dame floating in development limbo. It's a tough one to adapt because of its darker themes, but the mere fact that Disney is even considering revisiting it shows they're willing to take on heavier material. Josh Gad producing, Alan Menken speaking candidly about the challenges, that serious commitment to doing it right, or not at all. Then there's The Aristocrats, led by Questlove of all people. If these remakes are anything to go by, they're not just chasing box office numbers anymore. They're crafting something that feels alive, exciting, and new. And Vampirina? She's poised to waltz into that lineup like a goth rock star at a royal ball. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.